Morning team, here we are on a lovely winter's morning in January. So today we're going to cover part 2 of 2024. What are the plans, what are the goals? Part 1 was released last week. Have a look at that if you want to see what that took us up to, which was the 24th of March. So that's really early, isn't it? And the 24th of March goal was the British Standard Distance Duathlon Championships at Oulton Park. So that still leaves us 6-7 months of the year to fill, and in a year that I've got some big plans because I'm moving up an age group. I'm turning a big 6-0 in 2024. 6 decades, wow. Anyway, so where do we go from the end of March? Let's look at some specific goals and the rest of the events that and the training races and events that could assist and help meet those goals. Hey, hello, welcome. I didn't realise you were there. Okay, part 2 of planning for 2024. If you've seen part 1, you'll see that we ended at the end of March with the main goal as the British Standard Distance Duathlon Championships at Oulton Park. And to build up to that, beginning of February, we had the Alsager 5-mile road race for running and some Zwift specifics for building up the formal bikes and actually getting out and about on the roads to get the bike handling sorted and back up to speed after being stuck in a garage on a turbo trainer for months. So that left us with the rest of the year. So what I want to do now is go through the rest of 2024. So now I've got my act together, what I want to do now is look at the rest of 2024. And I hinted at the end of that last part 1 of the planning at a possible event in June in Portugal, which is the European Sprint Duathlon Champs, which I qualified for last year at Darling Moor. And this is a sprint event, draft legal, great fun, and my intent is to go. So that is in Portugal, race day 15th of June, a Saturday. Yet to define, arrange all the logistics and things like that, but hopefully that'll all come together. So that's a sprint event. So that's a great second goal, if you like. A good sort of couple of months after Oulton Park Duathlon. Gives me great time to sharpen up, slight reset probably for 2 weeks, and then a mini build back up for that sprint event. So that'll be road bike specific as well. So I will hope to get some time trial races on my road bike to help dial in that slightly different position, but hopefully I'll be strong after the training I've done for the standard distance champs. So building up to that European champs in June, I've got a few events I've sort of penciled in as possibilities to help me get some form in there, so I'm just not sitting training again. And looking at my list, there's a new event, a 10k run in Shifnal, could be a good local event to do. Also, I want to get a couple of TTs in if I can, like I mentioned, in terms of road bike categories. Local TTs, 10 miles, hopefully, I think would probably be the best bet for that. And I want to do the Clayton 10k event again, which is in May. I've done that the last couple of years, and last year I finished in 37:41, which was quite a big improvement from the previous year in 2022. So that would be a good measure, a good marker to see where my run form is at the beginning of May. And also a couple of duathlons in May, which falls really well, sprint duathlons. There's one at Darley Moor at the end of May, and there's also the Dunham Massey Duathlon by MCA Events, which I've done before. Both of those I've done before, so they'd be good markers as well. Good for transitions, good for getting the number pinned on and the race scenario, get into the groove with the racing. And that pretty much takes me up to June, 15th of June for the European Championships in Portugal. So that's a great second goal and a good set of events to help get the form and maintain peak condition for that race. I've also just realised that on July the 14th, there is the English Standard Distance Duathlon Champs down in Marlow, by the river duathlon. I think it's Let's Do It events, something like that. But that's the English Championships as opposed to the British Championships. So that's 14th of July. That could be another great target. Suits me, being a non-drafting event on the time trial bike. So, and it's a duathlon in the summer, warm weather. Oh, how good is that? So I'll probably target that one, to be honest, as well. So that takes me up to July, and a couple of events leading up to that would be the Stone 10k run race, the Cheadle 4-mile road race, and some time trials, I think, specifically on the time trial bike as well, if I can squeeze those in. But there's not really much time between the Sprint European Champs Duathlon and then the English Standard Distance. So it is a case of ticking over in many ways, but getting specific on the time trial bike, I think, because the English Champs is on non-drafting time trial bike. So that takes me to July. Some events that fall after July that sort of pique my interest. There's some local events in August with MCA events again with Manchester Airport Duathlon. That's a little sprint event. Done that one before, great fun. Good to get the racing legs going. A couple of TTs as well. And I'd also like to look at the Knutsford 10k, which is actually at the end of September. Gives me a bit more time to prepare. I had that event penciled in last year, and then I went and caught COVID. It's a fast course, it's an England Masters qualifier, and who knows, I'll actually have turned 60 by then, and it could be really, really worth having a bash at that in the 60 to 64 age group just for road running. And beyond September, at the end of October, there's the Grapham Standard Distance Duathlon, which I've always looked at but never competed at, although I have done a number of triathlons at Grapham Water when I lived in Cambridgeshire, and it's a good little course, suits me well, and I'm familiar with it. So I may do that late season duathlon end of October, but let's wait and see. That's a long time away. But we do have a plan, a rough plan, with probably 3 key targets there, being the first one being 24th of March, the British Standard Distance Duathlon Champs, and then the European Sprint Draft Legal Champs in June, and then July, the English Standard Distance Championships in Marlow. 5 months of good focus there, I think, and then some fun events, if you like, moving into August, September, and possibly October. And that just about sort of gives me a rough plan, as detailed as I generally go in planning anyway, for 2024, which is great. Looks really good. One thing I would mention in there is after September the 2nd, when I twitch over to age 60, I may well have another bash at Park Run PB, just to see how close I can get to the age 60 to 64 course records around my local area. They're quite tasty, to be honest. They're not easy, they're not soft by any means, so that's just a bit of fun really, just to see how close possibly I could get. Okay, thanks for watching, thanks for the interest. Come and join me on this journey, and remember, keep running, keep biking,